We all love Halloween, right? The costumes, the candy, all the pretend scares. It's fun. But what happens when the scares aren't pretend anymore? We're about to dive into some true stories where, for a few unlucky people, the line between fun and a real-life nightmare just disappeared.
Just let that sink in for a second. We'll get to how things escalated to this point, but that one single sentence, that's it. That's the moment the fun is over, when that safe feeling you had completely shatters, and you realize the threat isn't outside anymore, it's in the house with you.
You know, every single one of these terrifying stories starts somewhere comfortable, somewhere that's supposed to be safe, and that's really the foundation of true horror, isn't it? The violation of a space where you're supposed to feel completely secure.
So let's set the scene. Picture it. You're 22, you're at your friend Nick's annual Halloween party. It's packed. The music is blasting. He's even made one of those cheesy haunted mazes out of cardboard boxes. It's the perfect, normal party scene.
Or maybe you're 14 years old and you're happy because you've got a job for the night. Your mom and your little sister are out trick-or-treating and you're in charge of the candy ball, just chilling, watching scary movies. You feel grown up, you know? Responsible.
Or how about this one? It's your family's very first night in a big new house. And of all nights, it happens to be Halloween. You're all exhausted from unpacking, but hey, you're finally in your own space, with your family, ready to crash. See, 3 completely normal situations on one very, very abnormal night.
And this is always where it begins, with a sound. A simple knock, a phone ringing. It's the first little test of that barrier between your safe little world inside and whatever is waiting in the dark outside.
So for that 14-year-old kid handing out candy, it starts with a call from an unknown number. He picks it up, and there's just nothing. Silence, maybe a little fumbling sound. He just figures it's a prank. I mean, it's Halloween. He hangs up.
But the calls just keep coming. And on the last one, a voice finally speaks. But it's wrong. It's distorted, super deep, and it makes a chilling promise. And just like that, this is not a prank anymore. It's a direct threat.
For another person who's home all alone, the intrusion is much more physical. It starts at 11 p.m. with a knock. Annoying, sure, but he brushes it off as kids. But by 11:30, it's loud pounding. Now he's getting angry, but he's still not really scared. He just locks himself in his bedroom to get away from it. And then, at 2 in the morning, he wakes up. The knocking is back, only this time it's coming from right outside his bedroom door.
Okay, so now the threat is no longer at the perimeter. It's inside. The locks have failed, the walls don't mean anything, and that horrible moment of confrontation, it's here.
For 2 11-year-old trick-or-treaters, the horror is out in the open. A black Jeep has been following them, trying to lure them over with promises of candy. They keep running, but then the Jeep just screeches to a halt, cutting them off. The doors fly open.
And that's the only thing you can do. The kids drop everything, their candy bags, all of it, and they just run for their lives, sprinting toward home as the men start chasing them on foot.
Let's go back to that college party. The music and laughing are suddenly shattered by loud bangs from downstairs. Nick, the host, goes to check it out. He comes running back into the bedroom, locks the door, and this is the look his friends see on his face. Just pure, absolute terror.
He doesn't even have to say it out loud. He just mouths one word, hide. No explanation needed. Everybody understands instantly. They hit the lights. Nick and a friend dive into the closet. Others scramble under the bed. And then they hear the music downstairs get cut off. A man screaming, another loud bang, and then silence.
They hear boots stomping up the stairs. The knob on the bedroom door rattles. When it doesn't open, there's a pause. And then gunshots. The lock is just blown apart, and the door swings open, revealing a man in black boots standing right there in the doorway.
The immediate danger, it might pass. The intruders might leave, the police might get called, but what's left behind is often a deeper, more permanent kind of horror. It's the trauma, the unanswered questions, and the chilling discoveries you make in the light of day.
When those partygoers finally crawl out of their hiding spots, this is what they find in the living room. 4 intruders in masks had held everyone else hostage. 2 of their friends, Jen and Robbie, were killed. This wasn't a prank, it wasn't a robbery. It was a home invasion that turned into a double murder.
This just shows you the long-term devastation. Nick, the host, He survived physically, but the guilt just consumed him. He spiraled into a deep depression, got into drugs. Less than a year later, he died of an overdose. He became another victim of that night.
Remember the father whose daughter heard noises? He found the neighbor's son Randy hiding in her closet. But the next morning, he found this. The boys hadn't just been hiding in there. They had drilled a tiny hole to spy on his 7-year-old daughter while she slept.
And finally, this one is just chilling. A group of friends are leaving a haunted house attraction, and an actor in a pig mask starts following them for 5 whole blocks. They figured it was a joke that went way too far. But when they called the place later to complain, they got this terrifying reply. The man who followed them home wasn't part of the show at all.
What these stories really show us is that the biggest scares don't come from costumes or haunted houses. They come from that chilling realization that the mask can be real, that the threat can actually follow you home, and that the knocking can move from your front door to the one right beside your bed.